Hello, Class 8. This is Teacher Regina again, and today we will discuss about multiplication and division of fractions. Let us start with the multiplication of fractions. A multiplying of fraction is relatively straightforward. Example, 1 over 3 multiplied by 3 over 5. So, we will just directly multiply the numerator to numerator and the denominator to the denominator. So, it is equal to 1 times 3 is equal to 3 and 3 times 5 is equal to 15. So, the answer is 3 over 15. Since the answer is not in simplest form, so we need to change it in its simplest form. The simplest form of 3 over 5 is equal to 1 over 5. To keep calculation simple, it is helpful to look for common factors first, so you don't need to change it after in simplest form. How we need to do that? The same given, 1 over 3 times 3 over 5. So, when we do the looking for the common factor in this part, we need to look for diagonal. Okay, since 1 over 5, the common factor of only that they have is 1, while the 3 and 3, the common factor that they have is 3. So, we can cancel it, change it into 1, means we divide it by common factor. So, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So, now, directly, you will multiply it. 1 times 1 is equal to 1 and 1 times 5 is equal to 5. So, we get the same answer. You see how it's simple? Okay, next. We called it as by canceling the common factor first. So, 4 over 9 times 3 over 16 times 4 over 7 is equal to. So, I will write it again. After that, we will do the canceling of common factors. Like what I said, when you do it, it should be diagonal. So, I will start with this part. So, what is the common factor of 3 and 9 is 3. So, divide the 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3 and 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1. So, I will write it again. So, it will become 4 over 3 times 1 over 16 times 4 over 7. Next, this one, 4 and 16. It has a common factor which is 4. So, 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1. And 16 divided by 4 is equal to 4. So, I will write it again. This now will become 1 over 3 times 1 over 4 times 4 over 7. Next, still there is number that we can simplify or cancel by the common factor, which is 4 and 4, diagonal. So, 4 divided by 4 is 1 and 4 divided by 4 is 1. Now, let us write it again. 1 over 3 multiplied by 1 over 1, this part, multiply by 1 over 7 is equal. Okay, this time you can directly see how it's easy. 1 times 1 times 1 is, of course, equal to 1. Then 3 times 1 is 3. Then 3 times 7 is 21. So the answer is 1 over 21. Next is division of fraction. A division of fraction can be changed to a multiplication by using the multiplicative inverse. What is that? So, division, we didn't divide it directly. We need to use the multiplicative inverse. So, example, 9 over 16 divided by 9 over 8. So, what we need to do first is to flip up this fraction, or we called it as reciprocal. So, the first fraction given, we should to keep. So, 9 over 16. And what is the inverse of division? Is the multiplication. So, now split it up. We have 8 over 9. Means flip, you will change the numerator and denominator. Change the place. Or we called it as reciprocal. So now, like what I told you, okay, it will be 74 over 144 because we multiply it directly. So this fraction is not yet in simplest form. So if we simplify 72 over 144, it is equal to 1 over 2. So let us do what we did in the multiplication of fraction. So we need to look first for the common factor. So it will be easy. So we don't need to simplify the answer. Okay. So the same given 9 over 16 divided by 9 over 8 is equal to 9 over 16. Then inverse it in multiplication. Reciprocal of the next fraction. Then let us do the cancellation. 9 and 9, the common factor is 9, so it will become 1. Next, common factor of 8 and 16 is 8, so 8 will become 1 and 16 will become 2. So directly now, 1 times 1 is equal to 1 and 2 times 1 is equal to 2. So we get the same answer. Look at this video. I hope it will help you to understand more about multiplying and dividing fraction. This part, it is with a mixed fraction.
Dividing mixed numbers. In my video on multiplying mixed numbers, you learned that the key to success is to change your mixed number into an improper fraction. Guess what? We handle division of mixed numbers with exactly the same strategy. Take a look. First off, we change the mixed numbers to improper fractions. So here, 4 times 5 is 20, plus the 4 from the numerator is 24 over 5 divided by 2 times 5 is 10, plus this 2, that's 12 over 5. And now we just handle it like any other fractions division problem, and you've done those before. So our next step is to get the reciprocal or the inverse of that right-hand fraction. Flip it upside down. 5 over 12. And when we invert the fraction, we also use the inverse operation. Swap it out. Divide becomes multiply. Remember, we make life easy if we reduce as much as we can before we do the multiplying stage. We can use any numerator with any denominator. We can cancel these 5's. And we also have these values that work together. 12 is a factor of 24. That gives us 1 here and 2 here, because 2 times 12 is 24. And now we multiply across and we get 2 over 1. and any number over 1 is that same numerator as a whole number, so 2 wholes. Let's do another problem, and this next one won't work out quite so neatly. 5 and 2/3 divided by 2 and 3/7. Our first step is to transform these to improper fractions. So here, 5 times 3 is 15, plus this 2 gives 17 over 3, divided by 2 times 7 is 14, plus this 3 makes 17 over 7. And now we're into fractions division mode, and you got this. Get the reciprocal of that right-hand fraction, flip it, 7 over 17, and put the inverse operation at the same time. Divide becomes multiply. We can reduce here before we multiply. Cancel the 17s, keep the multiplication down. Nice. Multiply across, and we get 7 over 3. You know we never leave our answer as an improper fraction. Simplify it. Change it to a mixed number at the end. So, how many 3's in 7? 2 whole groups of 3 are 6, and there's 1 left over. Keep the denominator of 3 and we're done. 2 and 1/3 is your answer. All the steps you take in doing a mixed number division problem use skills you already have from your earlier work in fractions and mixed numbers. And I've covered all these skills on my channel. You can review them here. So when you have a mixed number division to do, turn them into improper fractions and off you go. Now you need to do some of these problems and build your math muscle.
Now let us have a short activity. Let us multiply and divide the following fraction. So the first one is 5 over 6 multiplied by 3 over 8. So I will give you 30 seconds to answer it. Okay, let us see the answer. It is equal to 15 over 48. Since the answer is already in simplest form, so we don't need to do anything. Next one, 4 over 9 divided by 2 over 3. In this case, what you need to do first? So, you need to inverse of division is multiplication, then inverse this, 3 over 2. Then, directly cancel, like what we did, the factors. So, 2 and 4, the factors is 2. So, the 4 will become 2 and the 2 will become 1. While 3 and 9 have the same common factor, which is 3. So, 3 will become 1 and 9 will become 3. Next, you need to multiply directly. So 2 times 1 is 2 and 3 times 1 is 3. Next, we have 1 over 3 times 1 and over 4 times 1 over 5 equals 1 over 3. Then change the 1 over 1 and 1/4. So 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 over 4 times 1 over 5. So cancel. It will become 1. So directly we multiply 1 over 12. That's all for today. Thank you for listening. See you soon.